As always, here's the overview. These are my teaching overviews, and they're not supposed to be particularly good mind maps. They're just to give me an idea of what I need to cover with you so that we cover many of the topics related to this system. So this one, for me, is supposed to represent the circulatory or the cardiovascular system, which is the system we're going to move on to now. And what we're going to cover is we're going to cover the heart. I put heart in the middle because, to me, that represents this system. We're going to cover the heart, and you're going to need to be able to draw and label a heart. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And to talk about all the blood flow through the heart and which vessels carry the blood and what sort of blood they're carrying. We're going to talk about the particular vessels, arteries and nerves, arteries and veins. And we're going to look at the differences, and you've got a sheet to fill in to compare the differences between arteries and veins. I'm going to bring out the large maps you drew of yourselves. You know the skeletal system, and you drew out all the bones? So we're going to use those, and you're actually going to draw on the main arteries and veins over the top of those, and you're going to label them. And there is another sheet that you can do to compare arteries and veins in different parts of the body. And we'll talk about different systems. What I mean by that, so for example, is what are the name of the blood vessels that feed the heart? There's something arteries, they're coronary arteries. So different parts of the body have different systems relating to them. Vessels feeding the liver are called hepatic vessels. We're also going to talk about blood itself and what's in blood, and I've got a nice little exercise where you can mix and match lots of cards together and try and identify, I've given you facts, identify facts relating to 3 blood cells and something called plasma that they will float about in. And then we're going to finish up looking at diseases and disorders, so what goes wrong. I've also got a nice CD you can listen to. It's a comedy CD, Tony Hancock. It lasts half an hour. We won't be filming then, because it's a really good opportunity to just listen to the CD and maybe either just sit back and listen to it or actually go through your notes and start to fill in all the bits that maybe up until now you haven't had a chance to fill in. Not necessarily on the cardiovascular system. So you can just chill out when we put that CD on. So we're going to start with a really simple exercise. Do you remember we started with the skeletal system? We talked about what you already know. I've just got some post-it notes here. They happen to be heart-shaped post-it notes, but they didn't have to be heart-shaped, but I thought it was quite relevant. And I'm just going to give you some of these post-it notes, just going to separate them. And what I'd like to do before we break is just to spend 2 minutes writing down everything you know about the circulatory or the cardiac system. So blood vessels, arteries, veins. Do you know anyone that's had a disorder? Do you know any of the names of the parts? And just write a word on each post-it. Is that okay?